So year 7, we have just completed page 20, and what I'm going to get you to do is have a go and try and do page 21. So I'm going to put those solutions up on sector for you, but we need to move on to finishing our experiment. So remember on Friday that we went and did an experiment on testing the temperature of water over time. So let's read what we've got here. One of the ways the fairness of an experiment can be improved is to increase the number of trials or the number of times an procedure is repeated. When multiple trials are used in an experiment, the mean or average of the data from all the trials can be calculated to provide a more accurate result. So I want you to highlight this, right? When multiple trials are used in an experiment, the mean can be calculated to provide a more accurate result. So if ever you are asked when you would have a more, or how to improve your experiments, that's something you could write. You could say, collect more trials and use the mean to get a more accurate result. So what was our aim? To investigate how much the temperature of water will change in cold and hot water. So I'm going to write a hypothesis here and say the temperature of cold water will increase towards room temperature. And the temperature of hot water will decrease towards room temperature. Over time. Okay, so you'll remember that we collected all of our data, and I've collected one of the class's data, and I've written that in table 63. Okay, so you might have slightly different data, but I just thought I would show you how we calculate the mean, because we're going to use that when we plot our line graph on page 64. So I'm on page 63. You should have all your data there. If you don't, get it from a friend who did the experiment. But remember that when you calculate the mean, what you do is you add up all the numbers that you have and you divide by the number of numbers. So let's give you an example. With this one, the mean would be the sum of all of those numbers. So add up all these little numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. So there were 5 numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me add up all the numbers using my calculator. Remember, in science you're totally allowed a calculator. You don't have to work this out without one. So 65 plus 70 plus 67 plus 70 plus 60. So that's all of those numbers that I've added up. What does that equal? It equals 332. So I'm going to write that 332. And then I'm going to divide by 5. Okay, and what does that equal? So 332, I'm going to divide by, so I'm 332 divided by 5, and I get 66.4. So I'm going to write that down. 66.4. Okay. Now I'm going to do the next one for you. So let's add up that 60 plus 66 plus 62 plus 65 plus 60. So I've added up all those numbers there, the 5 numbers that I've got for the second trial. I get 313. Then I need to take that and divide it by 5. What do I get? So this number divided by 5 equals 62.6. The next one that I've got, 55 plus 60 plus 58, plus 50, plus 58 plus 60 plus 56, and I got 289. Divide that by 5 and you get 57.8. What I'm going to get you to do is try and do this for all of these things that we've got here. So try and do all of these for yourself. Remember, your data will look different. But I just want to show you what happens if you don't have 5 sets of data. So let's do number 16. Here I'm missing 2 of them. So my average is only going to consist of 3 numbers. So I'm going to add up 40, 45 and 44. Okay, and I've got 129, and then I'm going to be dividing that number by not 5 this time but only 3. So here I get 43 degrees as my average. Okay, when you have only one number, it will be 44 divided by 1, which equals 44, and this one will be 43. So what you're going to do now for homework is you are going to complete working out the mean for all of these numbers. Do it both for the boiling water and for the hot water, for the ice water, and then you're going to make a line graph. Remember, you need to use talk, so the title, your axes, labels, a key. We need a key for this one because we're going to be doing both boiling and hot water. So use one color. So I'm going to use pink for ice water, and I'm going to use just pencil for hot water. Okay. And remember then that whenever you plot your points for ice water to use pink and hot water use pencil, or whatever it is you need to do. Okay, and once you've done this, you have done all the work for those lessons. Okay.